Page 292, March in G. I think G is referring to the key signature, as in G major, 1 sharp. Okay. This is a lesson on accompanying an instrument. People don't agree on a whole lot of stuff. To me, accompanying is accompanying. I don't care if it's a soloist, a vocal, or an instrument, or what it is. You're accompanying, you're supporting, you're helping out, completing the whole. But the soloist isn't supposedly in charge. They're the one in the spotlight. I've done a lot of accompanying. I do enjoy it very much. This is for cello. That's fine. Doesn't make any difference to me what the instrument is. You're accompanying. You need to know the solo part, or at least you need to know what it sounds like pretty well, because you need to follow it. So first I'm just going to play the solo part. It's in common time. The cello comes in here, and you can play it with either hand. That's not important right here. Sounds like. You need to understand these markings for cello. What are these things? Look at measure 6. You have those 2 arrows above that. Those are indications for bowings. On cello, that means up bow. They're going to up bow both of those notes. And these slur and staccato, it's a portamento. It's a long staccato. You just separate them. They're going to go boom, boom, or cello is this boom, boom, that way. If you look where the cello comes in, there's that square brace above it. That's an indication for down bow. So they're going to start with a down bow, and the next will be an up bow. And generally, they'll just keep going up and down for each note until the music says something different. Although a lot of instrumentalists will change that. Yeah. So then we take a look at the piano part. And you can use the same process for this that you'd use for any kind of a solo. You know, 1 hand at a time, get rid of any hesitations, add in the articulation and the dynamics to save some time. I'm going to pretend we've done all that. I want a fingering that's going to connect everything, so I may have to adjust it as I go. But here, and that. That's just a 3-measure introduction. It sets the tone, it sets the speed, hopefully, and kind of the mood. Now, the soloist should be the one who picks the speed. So it needs to know beforehand how fast the solo wants to take it. I usually have them play a few bars for me so I can hear it, and that tells me the speed. If I take off here at a different speed, some too fast or too slow, and the cello comes in at their speed, I have to be careful for that because I got to adjust immediately. If we're not going the same speed, the soloist and me, it's my fault. So I have to adjust to whatever they're doing. Going on, where the cello comes in, we're here. A couple of things here, like in measure 7. The cello plays in the first 2 beats, and it's quiet. I get this myself. How does that fit in with what's going on? It's like it's like an echo of that, so it needs to sound like so, because they're loud here. Come down, this needs to come down, because I was loud. No, I'm not loud. I'm sort of mezzo loud. Then the cello on measure 8 is at moderately loud. They're giving the same dynamics for the soloist and the accompaniment, and that's typical. They would do that. But you have to adjust that. If the soloist at the beginning, when they come in, is moderately loud, and that's you got to be down here about soft. You got to stay under it. And how soft you are depends on the situation. What room you're in, outside, inside, big room, little room, lots of people, hardly anybody around. You have to adjust for the situation on your dynamics. And according to what the cello may decide it's a small room, I'm going to bring it down a little bit. So you got to make sure you bring it down. So you're in relation to the soloist as far as dynamics go. So in measure 6, when they go out, they're getting louder, they put in a swell. Well, you are at the top of their swell. You're here. You're down. Come down. And this is sort of a moderately loud to moderately soft, because you're echoing what they did, and they come in a moderately loud. You got to be under that. So always be listening to the soloist on these dynamics and make sure that you're in relation to them, not necessarily what the music is telling you to do. It's important. And make sure you can play it all without any hesitation, because you can't be messing up the rhythm or nothing, because then you mess them up. General rule of thumb when accompanying is, if somebody's going to screw it up, let it be the soloist, not the accompanist.